Yo, what up, dudes? Hey, 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 Apocalyptic. How you doing, man? We're back in business. Arno, what's up, man? Cheeto guy, what's up? Freeze, how you doing? Old habits, what up, man? Yeah, I love the setup, man. It's looking awesome. Um, let's pull it up real quick. Again, we were in this range. We're coming back down here. We're gonna look at this a little bit differently. Again, as long as this zone is respected in some form of way, we're okay to bounce. However, if we do keep coming down, it's possible that we will test this again. This $16 support, and just looking at the cycle, man. Again, we're still tracking it identical. I don't see any like crazy movements happening unless something were to happen after hours. But things are looking good either way. There's no confirmation that we're going to the downside. Nothing like that, guys. It's simply, again, this premium game that is going on right now, happening. The SPY just ignoring everything as well. Going up, see how bullish it is. Wow, good shit. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Bullish. Trading obviously inverse to what's happening with AMC, but it's typically how it goes, guys, when we start to see that reversal happen. Yeah, that's a good thing, man. Trader in the trees. It's actually a really good thing that that we track inverse to the SPY. It means that we're straying away from that correlation that typically is not so good for AMC, because remember, as we track together with the SPY, it means that there's more sentiment and tying together with the movements of the SPY, which is not something that we want to do. We want to stray away from that, start to go up. Even on the moves down, man, it's a good thing that we see the SPY doing or AMC doing what it's doing now. It's that negative beta. Tickles, hey dude. We looking good, man. So we're still on this area. We did cross it here just a tad bit, man. Again, Amy likes to test these channels and come back. No confirmation of downside yet. I think we're still again in this sort of pattern that is playing, according to what the cycle tracks. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Again, this volume is being taken into account right now. We do have pressure to the upside tomorrow. So as long as we follow this same structure in some form of way in the near future, I'm going to be bullish for the rest of the week. If not, then we'll re-look at things, guys, if things do start playing out the opposite way, right? But right now, things are looking good, man. I'm pumped. Hey Travis, how you doing? Again, man, a lot of technicals do matter. You can take into account any technicals, man. With AMC, it will matter in the end if the setup is ready to go. And the thing that I'm looking at right now is obviously breaking this wedge, man. So for me, like the whole reason why I use the cycle to sort of help me track whether things are going to play out to the upside or not is because of the amount of volume located in these points of interest that happen every 2 months. So right here, there's a lot of volume, and right now it's pointing to the upside. So to me, that just again goes with the whole cycle and technicals of it, right? Where this entire wedge that we've been in for a little while now, it might be that point of breaking out if the volume continues to go to the upside. So this tiny dip doesn't scare me at all. It's actually, again, a good thing in my opinion, because we're slowly going up, to prevent the RSI from going through the roof and again having this sort of like pump and dump on the short term scenario, right? So again, man, it's something I'm looking into, but I think these institutions are doing it on purpose. It's just a way to maintain that price action slowly to the upside to get comfortable on these support levels. So yeah, man, glad to have you in the channel. Welcome. I'll say it a little bit later too, guys, but I did post on Twitter the Discord I just opened up. So I know there's a few of you in here right now. If you're more than welcome to join, there's a link on Twitter. There's also a link down below. If you click on that, it'll be the first tab on there for you. So I'm going to be posting their daily updates on the cycle, if it's tracking or not. And there's a general chat as well. I'll be on there answering questions and stuff. And then there's also a scenarios tab, which will be posting, again, the likelihood of scenarios playing out for the week, bearish, bullish, and neutral. So if you guys want more updates and stuff like that, that will be the place to go. I know a lot of you had asked and stuff, so I kind of wanted to go ahead and do that for you guys on that Discord and make it official now. Yeah, for sure, my dudes. Kaiser. For sure. Kuda baby, gracias. Yes. Of course, of course. Elephant? What do you mean, man? No elephant. No elephant in the chat. Elephants in the chat all over the place, baby. If you want to throw them in there, you're more than welcome to. We'll make a elephant emoji specifically for that. Oh, Amy loves it all, man. She loves the elephant. She loves the rockets. The whole deal. Anything you can give her. So this channel, again, guys, is very, very micro here. There's no reason why us, coming down a little bit more to test this support again is bearish at all. Again, if we did something like this, then okay, we start to look at things a tad bit different, okay, for the short term. But right now we're fine. We're still on this range. We're bouncing right now, so we're still okay. There we go. In fact, this is, again, this pattern, guys, it replays itself over and over and over again. It's something we see consistently. Yeah, it looks very much like that. Look at that. That's the current thing we're tracking here. Lay it right over. Change the height just a tad bit. Why is... trying to get it to 3. There we go. Get the ratio right. There we go. There we go. Cool. Got this right here shifted over, and then just picture it like this almost, okay? Because again, when you get that news and they want to release it right before market open to get those premiums up, that's just how it works. So this entire section, if you get volume in between where there's not enough happening, a lot of the times, guys, you have to think about it this way. And this is why you get a lot of algorithm shifts with when shorts have to cover these positions. They will avoid it after hours or pre-market, depending on what the game is. Here, they actually ran up the price pre-market for the premiums, okay? For those premiums. But also, when they have to cover the rest of those shares, this is all planned and coordinated in such a way where you will get a bit of just white noise in between. So maybe after hours, we might get a little bit of white noise or not, depending on how the cycle plays out. But here, again, you have the same thing happen back here, where this volume is traded after hours. So a lot of the times you will have this shift over into pre-market or intraday. So we might see this volume take into effect tomorrow, pre-market again, or intraday. And that's why you see these small like shifts in the cycle. Completely normal. So, again, man, who's that? Oh, Lat's asking odds of a big move. So that's my whole thing, man. It all depends on what the institutions are trying to do with the price right now. But I think just by looking at it, there's, again, that little shift that's happening right here. And to me, it just seems like this was a premium attack. Volatility premium attack to Ivy Crush very quickly. They get some money off of that, and then they might use that again tomorrow, do something like that tomorrow, and do the same thing, because we do have this push down. So if we see this happen after hours where it starts to come up, and we'll know again that there's a way that they're able to bring this back down before guys, it's really easy to get fooled into that, thinking that, oh, now that I bought these contracts and they're so expensive, they brought the price down, and then this thing starts to move up again. It's just a way to shake off as many people as they can. I'm telling you, bro, it's gonna keep happening. It's over and over and over again. It's happened in the past. It's just the way they do it. But right now we're moving up, so it's a good thing. Let's do intraday. Hide this guy real quick. Nice candle. Ooh, that's a lot of volume right there. 16. Back. Going up. Rockets in the chat right now, guys. Hey, let's pump Amy. All right, she needs some gas. Give her some gas in the chat. She's feeling funky right now. Look at that. Spectrum release 3D. Oh yeah. It's like a race. Hey, there we go. Come on, Amy. Oh, yeah. holy water, baby. Let's get it. I think she's setting up for something. Some mini projector pattern on the breakout side of things. I love it. Ooh. What was that? Are we gonna go up? Come on, Amy. Electrify. Let's go. Something like this. Oh yeah. That'd be nice, huh? It's all one chart. This is Amy's evil twin. Evil twin, or you know, racing each other so you can get to the finish line first. See that? It's like 3D. 3D artwork. It's not that pretty, actually. Honestly. Come on, Amy. What are you doing? Okay. Every time like we go down, I play some like Windows 96. This one's called Hazy Trip. That's what it feels like every time. We just like Going through a hazy little trip. You like that corner price, baby? It's all for you, man. That retro. Guys, anybody that just came in, the Discord is up, okay? I'm going to say it multiple times for the new people coming in, but there's a link on Twitter as well as on this channel. If you click on the link below, open that guy up, it'll be the first link that takes you to that Discord. And I will be posting scenarios, bearish, bullish, neutral every week, as well as daily cycle updates. And there's a general chat in there for you guys as well. I've been getting a lot of DMs and stuff about posting a Discord, so I finally got to it. If you want more information on that, just ask away there, man, and I'll do my best to answer every single one of you. Amy, AMC need that more fuel. Yeah, she does. Of course, Amy, you lacking that fuel. We need more fuel. Come on. The SPY, dude. SPY just went straight up. No F's given. Yeah, loving this, man. I'm loving this so hard, dude. SPY going up is such a good sign. I know most of you are like, oh, but it's not tracking with AMC. It doesn't matter. When we stop tracking the SPY, things turn around, baby. Right, this downward pressure right now, it means nothing. Nothing at all. We're on that support. And again, guys, just the rest of the week is important. The rest of the week is crucial to this cycle. We just got that V confirmation here on the short term. We crossed 1, 2, 3 resistance points, and us getting a small dip right here, not a problem. Got 6 minutes left in the day. No financial advice or anything, guys. Not financial advice or anything. I'm gonna be patient with my positions and with any contracts or anything like that. So you saw today, the premiums on those $18 contracts went up to 700%. Right now they're at 400. Right now they're at 40%. Somebody who bought the 700%, that stage, those contracts just decreased to 44%, which is terrible. That's a lot of money that they lost. So I'm personally, I'm going to just myself going to just wait on anything like that. I don't have any confirmation of anything right now. Hitting that resistance at 18 was important on the short term, but for the wedge, I'm waiting for that cross to 20. And if you want to get like whatever it is that you're looking to buy, because there's a lot of money to be made on options, of course, but there's also a lot of money if you want to get shares. Go for it at wherever it is that you feel comfortable doing that. It's up to you. However, I want to have a confirmation of a breakout on the projector pattern to be before doing anything. Chesko, thank you, man. Playlist below as well, man, for you guys. There's a nice little playlist there. Appreciate it. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, man, I'm typically, those of you that have been here since day one, you know that how I am with the scenarios and stuff like that. I hold back. I don't give crazy predictions or scenarios like that unless I have confirmation of multiple things. I don't like to do that, man. It's, it definitely, again, me putting out my bias out there, it will affect some people. Some people take it very serious in that, with stuff like that, and I just don't want to be that guy. So again, I'm trying to give you as much room to work with to make your own decisions, for sure. So yeah, we're gonna be chilling here for a little bit. Just ask some questions. We'll be here for a little while and just see what happens after hours, since we did have that push with AMC earlier. So gonna be sticking along here, guys. Hope you guys stick along too. Chesco, yeah. If early on, man, on the channel, I haven't released a song in a long time, but the first video I ever posted is called The Cycle Song, and it talks about this cycle that's playing out. If you want to look at that, man, it's talks about everything there. But yeah, dude, yes, music is my my passion for sure, and this is something that I love doing as well. So why not use both, right? To explain the message, put out the message in that way. It's awesome. Thanks, brother. I love you. Thank you, Saint71. Thank you, brother. Yeah, really nice volume today. Sub has the boss. Yeah, amazing, amazing volume. I'm loving it. All right, and we're gonna be going over, guys, over this entire setup here and what's happening with AMC. I'm gonna make myself a little bit more clear for those of you that weren't in the stream today that are just coming in. And again, I'll be answering a lot of questions from you guys. But I do want to talk about this because this is what a lot of people are missing out on when they come in on the stream. I need to repeat myself over and over and over again, so they know how the cycle is tracking and what it's doing and why it's important that we are in this stage and we are where we are, and how we can use this, right, to be more sure in our conviction, right? So just off the bat, guys, looking at here at after hours, that again, if they were able to do this and keep the price where it's at here intraday, it's very likely that they're going to do the same thing after hours. So again, that's fine, because what we want is this pressure going up intraday. We don't want it going out after hours. It's after hours is just a way again for them to win on these premiums that they're collecting on the options. So we want this to go up intraday, which is again very likely to occur tomorrow. Right now, what we have tracking here is this sort of sideways pressure here on Thursday, but this hasn't happened yet, this part of it. So I'm thinking if this gets shifted over to the right here intraday, it'll be back to back, boom boom, right? We will see tomorrow, like for sure, dude. We will get confirmation on whether this entire thing is playing out inverse or identical, okay? Because if we break down to the downside, if we go, let's say we go back to like 14 or whatever tomorrow, it's going to be a little bit hard for me to be on the whole thing, right? That we're tracking this thing identical for sure. So every day that goes by just confirms it more and more, right? Like right now we are tracking identical, opposite to all of these cycles that are happening. But if we start to turn and sort of drag this back down, this could just be again a fake out, man, and they're trying to do whatever it is with these technicals, again failing this massive wedge to the downside, which would make me change again my conviction for this specific cycle and start to look at things a little bit differently, right? But right now we are looking good, man, and I'm way more bullish than I am considering being a bear right now. Like, just the way things are playing out, it would make no sense at all on a technical perspective. All right, Gonzalo, he's asking, hey bro, would you know why somebody kept buying far out of the money puts for 2023? Somebody was buying 145 puts. Oh, that is just to attack the price once you get to that point. So if there's a lot of buying pressure, whoever it is that is doing this, whether you're short or long, most of these guys will be traded through the dark pool if they're a larger institution. So we will not see those being traded on the on retail exchanges. So that could be a company that is again on that sort of realm, very close to like retail. And that's the puppet show, guys, that I'm talking about here. How these institutions are playing this puppet show against retail longs and shorts. Those longs and shorts are in the same realm as well, right? They wouldn't be traded on the dark pools or anything like the bigger hedge funds that are dealing with that. So yeah, it would just be a way that they would make money, right, trying to hedge those positions on that specific price. So if that again, but yeah, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy stuff. They did it back in they did it back in January, they did it back in June, and they're doing it again now. So that's why I'm pumped, dude. Ryan, yes, sir. He's asking, is this supposed to confuse us? Yes. If you, again, man, if you guys are new, I'm going to bring this up again here and talk about the psychological ways of Amy, right? We had a flag that we were in for a little while back here in this price, and then right, we broke out of the flag, creating this projector pattern, and we actually went to the upside, right? But here they actually caught a lot of people in this really fucked up game, right? Because they created this large cycle that took 5 months, and they actually broke it down. So a lot of people lost faith in this phase, right? This was a breakdown instead of a break up. So the same thing is happening right now. We're in this wedge. It's a new phase. It's a new game that these funds are playing. And once there's confirmation of that breakout, then that's positive, right? Because we're going to the upside. Same thing back here, right? You get this little phase that happens, and then we break up, and then we squeeze. Here, the situation is a bit different, but it's likely that once we break this out, again, you wouldn't see, in my opinion, something like this happen. Why? Because something like this happening, guys, and many people think that this is a possibility, and it sure is a possibility, but it's not something that would make sense on a technical level, because stocks, again, they trade off based off of previous support and resistance marks in the stock, right? So in order for us to go up to the next level, we won't be trading at this zone exactly. We would actually climb our way there. And the first thing we got to do, guys, is go up to this level up here, this $40 level. And we have to trade on this level before establishing that projector pattern that will take us up to the next point. I don't think that we can be back at these similar levels, 12, right? Make a little projector at 12 and then squeeze again to a higher level. I don't think so. I think we have to come up and be comfortable at these levels before doing that. So I think the next play is going to be, coming back up, creating some sort of flag. Not saying it's going to happen like this at all. This is just me trying to explain to you how these phases work, right? And how they're manipulating the price and making people second guess themselves when they go in on AMC. So this is a psychological play right now, is the wedge. So if we break up, that's the wedge has been again, we succeed, we come up, and we trade on this channel. But if we break down, that is going to be another psychological play that they have in store. And they have obviously more margin to be able to bring this price down to other levels. But at that point, I personally don't see that happening. I think these institutions would be really risking a lot going down to those levels. It'll be way too attractive to retail and other institutions buying the price at single digit. So yeah, it's just something we gotta wait for, man. Climb up and establish these levels first. Yeah, I mean, there's too much attention on something like AMC, guys, for this specific stock to just go down to single digits, in my opinion. I think there's too much attention on AMC, where, again, remember, the people that are controlling this need to keep it somewhere that is acceptable, because if you go into a territory where things start to look extremely illegal, then you're losing at that point. So they want to make it, they know that what they're doing is illegal, right? But they want to make it so that they want to make it so that once this squeezes, they're almost going to like gaslight retail, because they're going to be like, see, it did squeeze, right? But they'll do it at a point where most retail will miss out in some form of way, because they don't want them making that money. The institutions want to be able to keep all of this money to themselves and whoever it is that's doing this. So they're going to trick retail. They're going to trick everybody else that's going into this, and then do it at when they're at that point, right? Because that's what they've been doing so far. It's just shaking off all of these people in between these different phases that are happening, right? And once they shake off as much people as they can, they'll start ramping up the price, right? But they know that they can't just do that themselves. They need more volume. They need retail to come in and help, and that's why that's going to set it up at some point. And again, if people have lost faith in between, I would say a good amount of people have lost faith. They will be shaken off, and then there's going to be, again, either a new cycle that's formed and we leg up, or we squeeze. It's one or the other, guys. If we leg up, it'll be high. We'll go up higher, but then again, a new cycle will be formed, and then they have something else in store, right? Depending on the market and what's happening. So there's so much that needs to happen before we start to get to these levels, guys. Ryan is saying, can they just introduce the volume as they please, or do we need to buy from that volume? So think about it this way, man. The way I described this before was that if we go based off of the theory that there is a that larger institution that's controlling the price action, then we know that obviously those are the guys with the big bucks. They know they have way more money than Citadel, Melvin Capital, all these other hedge funds, right? Since they're the ones with the big bucks and they're shaking off these shorts and they're trying to bleed them dry, these shorts basically have no choice but to wait until that algorithm is basically ran through, could have done what it could. And these other institutions, they're basically buying them time, but not really, because what's happening is these institutions know that once they step away from that, from whatever it is that they're not coordinating, because they're not on the short side. Remember, they're trying to bleed them dry. That basically they will take all of this volume that's been stored away, right, in the dark pools, because these guys are narcissists, right? They're the bad guys, and they use that basically to pump up the price. Any shares that have been lost and stored away that are considered, right, the synthetic shares, that goes up in volume and racks up from these short positions, right, that are over leveraged. And again, this goes both ways. This also happens with the institutions that are controlling the price, because they're doing the same thing, but they're not over leveraged like the original short positions that that have all this, right, all of this negative, illegal, right, shit happening behind all these doors, right? These private exchanges where they keep these shares in a vault, and then they have to, right, pump them up when the algorithm fails. So it's not as easy as pumping it up into a straight line, in my opinion. It's again waiting for the algorithm to check whether things are going to play out that way or not. And it's all human psychology, man, and but more of like psychology on like a more society-based psychology, or sociology, right? Because you're studying the behavior of a society rather than just the individual, but you're doing both, and the algorithm checks that, but also checks the requirements that these hedge funds have to be able to keep the price where it's at, right? And that's where you get these checkpoints in between the entire cycle. These are basically ran through at specific events in the cycle, and it'll happen according to the patterns that you keep finding over and over again, because these dates are crucial to option expiration dates. So they'll do these checks and throw in this volume on purpose to trick, right, you and I, and that is where you will see the algorithm running like this, circles. Those are the most important points within the cycle, are going to be those where you see literally everything tracking to a T. It's heavy volume on the dark pool, in the dark pool. All right. Thank you, brother. Would we still see the algorithm at night numbers in the squeeze, if that makes sense? At night, like after hours? Oh, the algorithm at high numbers in the squeeze, if that makes sense. Are you talking about if the algorithm can calculate like the prices that we reach? No, you're fine, dude. You're fine. You're good, bro. Let's see what he was. More like a sense of direction of how it might move next. Would this be out the window? Oh, so not necessarily, man. We have to separate the idea, right? So if let's say the algorithm knows what it's going to do after the projector pattern. After the projector pattern plays out, the algorithm has basically already checked everything, and that is where it knows. Because remember, these institutions that are long and they're on our side, in my opinion, they know the price levels that are going to be reached, and they know when they're going to throw in these shares and when they're gonna when they're going to cut, right, that point where they short this again to create that cycle, right? However, at points where we start to squeeze, I think it's a different game, because at that point the algorithm and these institutions can't really control the like if they've already gotten long, it's just a waiting game to see how long it takes for these other hedge funds to start covering their positions that we don't know anything about. And even those positions, or even those institutions, don't have all the information that they need to know how many synthetics there are, or all these things that are literally just stored away within each individual short position that is over leveraged, if that makes sense. So we won't know that until we actually start to squeeze. But if we get another leg up, definitely, man, it's going to be an algorithm based leg up, and we'll be able to tell. I think I'll be able to make a good assumption if we are tracking a cycle or not on the run up, because again, man, it happened in January, it happened in June, it happened in November. They all have a projector pattern that takes you up. So I think it'll be a different thing. It'll be more, in my opinion, man, we might get a run up first to a certain level, like a fib level, psychological level, whatever, and then they might take us down again for like a little bit before actually squeezing. That's why I had a scenario up where it was called the market crash pattern scenario, taking into account the possibility of a market correction, not necessarily a crash. And that would be the basically the downfall of these shorts, because they would get margin called with all these other positions and everything, right? And that would be the ripple effect to the ultimate squeeze. So you'd get like a little cup and handle sort of deal there. Lynn, what's your thoughts if they hide the buy button again? I don't think they're going to hide the buy button again. That happened once. They learned the hard way from that, for sure. But that doesn't mean that there's not other ways to again, make people, make retail not buy. There might be something else. If they haven't that in store, if somebody is planning that on the next run up, and they're able to basically sugarcoat it in a way where they make us blame each other, that would be so fucked up. But there's a possibility that if things don't play out fairly again, that we will get some other bullshit happen, right? I don't think it'll be a buy button thing though. Suck Sing, what's today price action? Consider the projector after which price starts to go up. So today's price action was considered the tracking around the projector pattern. What the projector pattern shot up in June, that is what the current chart is tracking, those directions, right, that we're choosing, whether it's the upside or the downside. But it wasn't tracking specifically those moves, right? And we're not actually creating a projector pattern or anything like that. It's all just tracking the movements that are happening with Amy. Ryan, of course, any day, my guy. All of this is illegal, in my opinion, again. And it's all speculation at the end of the day, guys, but you can see, if something is clear to the eye, you can see it happening in a frequency manipulation like that. None of this is pushed to the markets. You will not see this on you will not see this on news covering stuff like this. They'll say, oh, synthetic shares, or they'll say manipulation, but they don't show you how. And that's the problem. It's people are it's goes in one ear out the other when things like that happen, if there's no actual proof that you can actually prove that, right? So this is why there's different sectors, right, in the YouTube community, where people talk about fundamentals, people talk about technicals, and people talk about, right, cycles and algorithms that are happening. And it's just a way to unfold the manipulation happening. And if people want to believe that, that's great. But the reality is, man, that this might not be something that many people might consider, you know, you have to like look at this on a daily, every single day to understand what's happening, to have the faith that it takes to see something like this, right? Because it's really hard to convince somebody, man, that something like this is actually happening in the market. Because people think that the market is, most people are going to think that the market is not manipulated, that things are not being manipulated, because that's just the way that we were taught to look at things, and look at the government, and look at the stock market, and every little thing out there, that it's safe and it's not manipulated. And I don't know, dude. It's, I just feel like they would never let this information out. They would find a way to block this from it getting to the public. I mean, unless you know, the power of social media is crazy, isn't it? You Kislily said it pretty right there, man. Yeah, if we leg up without halts, it's the algo. If we get halts, the squeeze has to squeeze. In a way that's correct, because the halts might be a way to sort of prevent certain things from happening, depending on how long it's halted and what the news says about the halts. Because there's a way to, again, like news, the thing about news and media is that they will word things very specific to where it causes like a clusterfuck, right? In social media, on social media, people then start talking about all this crap, like, oh my god, they took the buy button away, they're gonna take it away for 3 weeks, and then people freak out, and then they can't even close their positions or buy them or anything. But it's causing fear in the market. That's where the FUD comes in, and FUD is dangerous because, again, you might have a lot of people sell all at once, and then on that dip, maybe on the squeeze, we'll just fucking skyrocket, because at that point it doesn't matter. Nothing is going to matter. Technicals, the cycle, nothing is going to matter once we reach that point. Right now it matters, but once we reach that point, man, there's no fucking return, man. It doesn't matter what the fuck they post out there, or the FUD, the bots, whatever. That will not matter. Let's see. Yes, of course. Anywhere, guys, if I can help you out, man, that's the whole goal here, is to make all you, again, I'm trying to do my part as a YouTuber, right? To stick with my conviction. Whatever happens in the end, look, you always have to consider this, man. If something happens in the market that is, because nothing is guaranteed in the market, and that's something that you all know. You all know that nothing is guaranteed. If the government were to step in and do something with AMC, at that point, that's a government issue, and that's something they would deal with. I think it would have a lot of disastrous consequences because of those actions. Again, you're taking what is this free market and making it into a market that's not free, right? So if people know that, and that starts being pushed out, that would be very volatile in the market, and that would be disastrous, right? Again, you have to consider all these things, though, because it's a possibility that somebody does step in and does something nasty, and at that point it's out of everybody's control, right? It's out of my control, it's out of the other people that are pushing stuff out, it's out of their control. What I'm providing here is, again, it's helpful to the cycle, and it's been helpful to the cycle and the movements of AMC, right? It's something that as much faith as I've been putting into it is going to be speculation no matter what, because that's just how it works. It's just how it works. We don't know what's going to happen in the market. We have to be careful with every little decision that we do, right? I was a very risky guy, man, when I first started doing stocks, and I learned the hard way. I really did. But now I'm stepping back, and I'm being more careful in how I do things, because again, I know how the manipulation works, how it's been happening. And that's something that I just want to share with you guys, because I want to help you out too. I want to help you with knowing and understanding what's happening behind the doors, how these hedge funds are making all this money and making you lose all this money. And that's the goal, man. I'm just trying to help. I'm trying to do my part and help the community. I know how strong everybody in here is, and your guys' conviction and this community is just fucking awesome. And that's dope, okay? But it's all about being safe at the end of the day, and managing that risk tolerance, right? Chris, he's asking about the Google earnings. Yes, man, I think the overall market sentiment, wherever it points, man, if it's pointing up, that will be bullish on AMC, and it's the start, man, of these things. This is all, again, it's orchestrated in that way. I had talked about previously how I just don't believe that the SPY is going to, and the market is going to crash right now. I think if we had a correction, that would make sense, but I don't think we're going to get a major market crash. It would be a crash correction, which is like 20% or whatever, 15%, and then come back up. It's just a fake out, man. It's too early in the year for us to have a crash. I think it's just too early in general. We haven't even reached psychological levels, which is 500. We need to cross that and go beyond that. I think 600 around there, maybe a little bit more, before actually having and considering what would be a more of a major market crash. But even then, man, I think just taking correction after correction might be the way to go right now, to minimize that, right? To minimize the Ryan, thank you, man. Thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate you, brother. I think just the looks of it, and just the looks of the SPY too, man. Everything looks great. Okay, I'm excited for tomorrow. I think tomorrow is going to be very interesting with AMC. I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully things end up, looking on the positive direction, right? Hopefully we end up tracking identical again and keep going up, man, because it's about time we break out, right? We break out of this wedge. I still have this support, guys. Little game they played here, but I think we're looking good. I really do. Here's the cycle here, and here's the tracking for us. Just on the short term, you can kind of see the movements. So yeah, we'll see what goes down, guys. For those of you that just came in, I did open up a Discord chat. It's on Twitter. It's also on the link below. If you just press the first link, it'll take you straight there. And there's a bunch of scenarios that I will be posting every week, as far as bullish, bearish, and neutral scenarios. And then we also have a general chat. Just ask questions. I'll be on there a lot. I will also be posting daily updates on the cycle. So that's what that Discord is going to be for us, guys. So if you want to join that, make sure you click the link. But yeah, things are looking pretty average right now after hours. Guys, I am going to end the stream today, but we are, again, going to be here tomorrow morning. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you come join us and chill. But man, tomorrow and the rest of the week is exciting as hell, bro. I'm excited. I'll keep you guys updated on Discord, even after hours. That's the whole thing about it, man, is that I'm going to be posting on there very frequently, more than I do, on Twitter and stuff like that. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for joining the stream, and I fucking love all of you, okay? Have a great rest of your day. All right, go have fun with your family and your friends and your pets. Bye-bye.